as well as Fargo, Wachovia, but it says their dilemma is they hate to love niggers and love to hate niggers.
Have you ever used a racial slur? It's a yes or no question.
At what time or what period? I would say yes.
Is there any context in which it should be used?
No.
Would you agree that the word is detestable?
I personally don't like it.
But you have used it.
Those were the times.
Have you ever used a racial slur?
Define it.
The N-word.
Ever? Yes.
You have. Have you made a mistake in the Singletary's case?
Have I made a mistake in the Singletary's case? I have to say no.
Did you maintain the letter that was presented to you in your office in the front of Larry, with Larry Singletary as a witness, regarding the approval of the loan for John Singletary?
Excuse me, that's the question again.
Do you have the letter that was presented to you by me in the presence of Larry Singletary in your office?
Again, I answer that no.
Did you receive that letter? Yes or no?
I'm assuming that I do. Yeah, I'm assuming that I did. Yes.
No, let's not assume.
I don't remember the specific
I would
instance.
hate to, on an assumption, make a false accusation concerning you and whether or not you did or did not do something that is connected to the law. So
I don't remember seeing the specific letter, but I'll say yes, I received it.
Do you remember that? Okay, yes, you received it because the letter actually was delivered to you in your hand.
Okay.
But now you do not have the letter. Can you tell me where it is?
No idea.
So, would you say it's fair that you failed, it was in your possession, and that you failed to secure it?
I would not say that's fair.
It was delivered to you, you agree that you have it, but yet you say that now you don't.
I don't have
How
it
would you
personally, no.
characterize it? Well, do you know where it is?
No.
It was, as I was stating, it was delivered to you in your possession. You failed to secure it. Now it's no one knows where it is.
What can I tell you?
John, and he's already, he told you initially he didn't know whether or not he'd gotten it. You've asked him the question 50 different ways and basically forced the witness to say yes.
No, the reason is this. He's admitted on the record to not only making mistakes, but not telling the truth. And so I simply asked the question differently and specifically so he would have a yes or no answer.
But he can say, I don't know. That's a perfectly fine answer. I don't.
You know, Jared Overcash.
Jared Overcash, I think, was a banker who used to work for us years ago.
So you do know him.
Yeah, I just answered I did.
No, that's not what you answered. You said you think he used to work for you. Do you know Jared Overcash?
Yeah, I know Jared Overcash.
So Jared's name appears in a document stating Lynn, and it goes on. It encompasses John and Carla Singletary, and this is not one, this is one of several forms of communication to and from you to Jared Overcash. Is that correct?
I don't know what you're looking at. Yeah, that's right. From Jared Overcash to me, absolutely.
So the statement that no one else had any information regarding the Singletaries or this case was incorrect.
Yeah, it was
It was incorrect.
Yeah, it was incorrect. Yes.
Is this a document out of your file?
Yes.
did you answer that no one outside of you, Maureen Alston, and Lisa Mills had any information regarding the Singletary file?
Yeah, that's exactly how I answered it. I understood the question at the time.
Was it a truthful answer?
Yes, it was a truthful answer.
Does Thomas Anderson appear in this file?
Yes.
Did you state that Thomas Anderson was an individual who had information?
About this file, as I understood the question of the file, I did not think he had any information to it.
It's a yes or no question. After that, yes or no.
Ask it again.
Did you state that Maureen Alston, Lynn Hutchison, and Lisa Mills were the only individuals that had any information dealing with the Singletary file?
Yes.
Okay. Was that a true statement? Yes or
No.
no?
I thought you were talking about this particular case and the file associated with this case. Certainly other people did at the time the loans were done. Sure.
So they would have information regarding the Singletary file, as asked.
From a written file, I don't know if they've got anything or not.
Yes or no? Would they have? Would someone else have information regarding the Singletary file that you know their
The way
name?
that question is asked, I'd say no, that I know of.
No. So you're saying that you don't know Jared Overcash,
I know Jared Overcash for sure.
and you're saying that you don't know, but you're not aware of this email that's in your
Oh,
file.
I'm aware of it now, but I'm not sure he has a file.
I didn't ask you whether he had a file. Information is different than a file.
Oh, okay. Well,
Simple.
if you say, does anybody else have any information, I guess he would possibly remember something about the transaction, sure.
And so your previous statement was incorrect. That there are other individuals that you know that also have information regarding the Singletary file.
Check the form.
Now that I've, looked through that, sure.
You say Patty Cannon does not ring a bell.
Patty Cannon does not ring a bell.
But this is your file. And in your file, her name appears. And you're saying that she, that you don't have no knowledge of who she is.
I have no knowledge of who she is.
Would you read the name here for me?
Patty Easton.
Okay. Patty Easton appears in your file.
Okay.
And this is on a document relating to the Singletary. Is that correct?
Yeah. Fax transmittal.
John Singletary names appear.
Fax transmittal.
John Singletary names appears on the very same document.
John and Carla, yeah.
Okay. So your statement that no one else other than either you, your secretary Lisa Mills, Mrs. Maureen Alston, and now Jared Overcash, as well as Patty Easton, also has or is privy to information on the Singletary file. Yes
The
or
way
no?
yes. I guess I said yes. Ask that question again.
Did you tell the truth when you were asked, did you belong to any organizations that did not have African American members?
No.
Recommended any African Americans?
I don't have any African American friends that hunt that I know of. Play golf with a lot of my African American friends, but I don't know about hunting.
Have you ever recommended any for Fort Dux?
I can't do that. It's owned by 3 guys, and they have one membership that they give me because I work up there. So that's,
In your opinion, do you believe that Wells Fargo allows employees to share information concerning client accounts with individuals outside of Wells Fargo?
Check to the form.
Still answer. No.
yes.
Mr. Hutchinson, are you absolutely sure that the signatories were not discriminated against by Wells Fargo?
Absolutely sure. No.
Are you absolutely sure Wells Fargo did not violate the Fair Housing Act?
No.
Are you certain that Wells Fargo did not violate the Federal Real Estate Settlement Procedure Act?
I'm not certain of anything. And that-
Yes or no to the question, please. Would you please instruct your client to answer yes or no?
He didn't answer your question.
Okay. Yes or no to the question.
What was the question again?
Question is, are you positive that Wells Fargo did not violate the Federal Real Estate Settlement Procedure Act? Yes or no?
No.
Are you positive that Wells Fargo did not violate the Sarbanes-Oxley Act?
No.
Are you without any doubt that Wells Fargo adhered to all guidelines pertaining to conspiracy against civil rights?
What was that question again?
Are you without any doubt that Wells Fargo adhered to all guidelines pertaining to conspiracy against civil rights?
Is that the same thing as I'm absolutely sure that
Oh,
we did
yes.
not?
Are you absolutely sure that they did not violate the Civil Rights Act? Okay. Are you convinced that Singletary's 13th and 14th? Are you convinced that defamation was not committed by Wells Fargo against John and Carla Singletary?
I convinced no.
Okay. Are you sure that slander of title was not created by Wells Fargo?
No.
Okay. Are you sure that Wells Fargo did not breach its construction contract with the Singletaries?
No.
Are you sure that Wells Fargo did not breach the HIPAA privacy mandates?
No.
Question now is, was it truthful, your statement, yes or no?
No.
If you could look at, and let's get this marked too, as Defendant's Exhibit 2. In Exhibit 1, if you could just look at those signatures and tell me if those look like both you and your wife's signatures on those documents.
You've asked the same question, and I give the same answer.
Do they look like
Until I
your
see it.
signatures?
Well, let's do this. You take a look at my license, you take a look at the signature, and you tell me if they look like the same to you.
Well, I'm asking you, look at the signature here and look at the signature on your license. Do you think that those signatures look the same there?
The two of these signatures on my license and this one does not look the same.
So you think that somebody fraudulently signed your mortgage? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know.
You don't remember sitting down and signing a mortgage with
Of
two
course.
witnesses present?
Of course I do.
So you admit that you signed an original mortgage that looked identical to that photocopy. You just don't know whether the signatures on that photocopy are yours or not.
That's not what I said. I didn't say that I signed one identical there. I said until I saw the original, I would not be able to tell you.
In front of Judge Young as well.
Well, I never really had a hearing in front of Judge Young to discuss any of the merits of the case.
Okay. And do you believe that Judge Young was biased and did not render a fair and impartial decision in that case?
I don't know about the bias. What I do know is that there was never full adjudication. He refused to listen to the merits of the case, and not listening to the merits of the case, he later rendered a decision, and that was a violation of due process and equal protection.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you file a motion for recusal alleging that Judge Young was biased and could not render a fair and impartial decision in that case because of prior relationships with the city of North Charleston?
Yes, I asked him to recuse himself.
Okay. Do you think Judge Young should have recused himself?
Yes, I do. I think that anyone who was a former employee, a judge, and who has close ties with a defendant should recuse himself.
And Judge Young did not recuse himself in that appeal, did he?
That is correct.
Okay.
Who does this black man think he is building such a large home in the city of North Charleston?
So, based on this document, it was requested that you bring a history factor report that you did view at least a portion of. Yes, sir?
That email was not to me.
Your attorney, your company's attorney is responsible for intercommunication. I don't control that. Whoever is hired by your company as your attorney, that's between you and them. But
Right.
the document clearly states that the history factory report is one of the documents for this deposition duce tecum that should actually be in the room. That should
I
have
was
been
not
brought.
told to bring that document.
You were not told by your attorney to bring the document.
No.
Is it clear that it was requested that you bring the document after you were aware that you had a deposition? Yes or no?
Yes.